I'm business owner as well, and I'm also the salesperson, and I know that feeling, right? That feeling of just like maybe I can't do this anymore, and then a few
Mm.
weeks going by of that feeling and being like maybe I can't do this, like maybe I
Yeah.
shouldn't do this anymore. How do you refill the cup, right? Because I've been there. I've found ways and ways of like getting over the hump of being like, no, 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 I love this. I remember why I started this whole thing, and I wouldn't want to do anything else. And
Yeah.
reminding myself of that. But how do you go out and refill that cup so you've got that?
Oh, that's a killer question. How do you refill the cup?
Jay, I drink bells.
Yeah.
I drink bells, and then I smash the bottle at the end of the night.
That is probably, I think, and this might sound really corny or cheesy, you have to find it within, because I tell you what, you have to break every single mold or any routine or any sort of comfort zone to really try and refill that cup. Like, I love writing content. I literally love it.
Mm.
Like, I love doing it. And I always go to myself, oh, I'm definitely going to post this week. I'm definitely going to post 2 times this week. And where I just overthink it so much what I'm actually going to write, I don't do it. And then I'm like, okay, no, definitely at the weekend, I'm 100% going to write some content at the weekend. I'm going to sit in a field with 100 sheep and then literally write about something. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's just like, I don't know. And then people are like, well, why don't you write to your audience? And then like, why don't you? Because I want to, I'm on LinkedIn, yes, to build a community, but also I am there. I'm going to be honest. I want to work with businesses.
Mm.
I want people's businesses, but also want to be able to market their business and be able to provide business for them. It's a joint effort, where I think because there's a lot of majority of recruitment on LinkedIn, it's very hard to sort of pull on, or sorry, rephrase that. It's very hard to sort of sell a service when there's so much of that service around. So
Mm.
you have to be unique. You have to be different. That's why I do the videos on a Friday, to be unique, be different. I'm trying to show that I'm different
Yeah.
by being different. I'm not just being different because I need to be different and I need to
And you
be
want to be
like,
an influencer,
no, I
yeah.
definitely don't want to do that. No, I don't want to do that. But I just like, yeah, yeah, a little sort of hands. I don't want to sort of do that, but it's one of them things where like I want people to. I want to be liked. I do like that. That's always I've always wanted to be liked, and I feel like I actually am quite good at what I do,
Mm.
and that's why. But at the moment, it's very hard because I'm calling businesses to work with businesses. I'm writing content because I want to work with more new businesses. But then obviously you do have that sort of step where you have to call up and speak to the business, and then you get a no, or you get who are you trying to? Do you know what I mean? You get the people that don't
Yeah,
want to
I hear
speak to you
you.
because you're a recruiter.
Yeah.
But it's learning, it's teaching yourself how to do it all again, and it's very sometimes quite hard to come out your comfort zone and try
Mm.
and get new business. But sometimes you just have to do it, and you just have to break the fear, and that's sometimes how I try and refill the cup, shall we say, by
Mm.
trying to break the mold. But it is hard. It is hard.
And I found learning, like I love learning. I really, really
Mm.
had to fall in love with learning when I started the business, because I realized that, I was a salesperson, didn't know anything. I'd only found out what VAT was like 5 years beforehand, and then we started the
Yeah.
business. I remember, so I always quote my mum, or I paraphrase my mum. When we grew up, she was a single parent taking care of me, and young as well. And I remember many, many times when she'd just be like, look, you didn't come with a manual, so I don't know here. Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to figure it out together. And I
Yeah.
always say, and you'll hear me shouting the same thing in the office, like, I didn't do a business degree. Like, I don't know. Right. But I love
It's
that.
hard.
I do really enjoy to learn, or I enjoy the
Mm.
process of learning. So a lot of times to like kind of refill that cup, I have to go back to like, what bits are the mechanics, right? Stop looking at this bigger picture,
Mm.
because it's too big and there's too much to deal with, especially on today's or this hour or this minute. But remember the bits of the process which I really enjoy, and try and focus on those bits. So if it's like prospecting, like, okay, cool. Well, I hate cold calling, and I haven't done it in, 7 years. I do enjoy learning.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. Let's see if I can get into that flex and do that.
Yeah.
It does. I'll admit it, it works about it's like all stats. At 95% of the time, it works 100% of the time. But
Yeah, but as soon as you start getting, like, you might do sort of maybe 10 to 12 calls, and then go, oh, actually, it's funny that you should
I know
call,
this. Yeah.
and then suddenly you're like, oh, and oh, and then it kind of, and then suddenly that reunites, and then suddenly you're like the coolest recruiter going, and like your mojo comes back, and then you go
Yeah.
home and you're like, yeah, I'm the, and then it all starts again. You've got to get that fire. But I think sometimes it's just like LinkedIn content. You're posting consistent and for so long, and then you think, God, it's been 3 months now. Like, what am I doing wrong? And you're not getting any people coming through. You think, do you know what? It's not for me. And then you do that with recruitment. It's like no one's getting
100%.
jobs. No one business will want to work with me. And then it's just when you stop trying or overthink it, you get an email going, "Oh, Tom, sorry, I haven't been in da 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 da," and it's just like,
just wondering
where
if
have
you
you
could fill this £1
been?
million
Where
contract
have
for
you
me.
been? Where have you
I'd love
been?
to. Yeah, exactly. Firstly, where have you been?
Yeah, where have you
Secondly, I'd
been?
fucking love to.
Yeah. I'll do the job. It's without sounding desperate. You're like,
Oh,
no,
I guess I
I have
could.
to get
Excuse
back.
me
I have
one
to get
second.
back to you. I have to get, yeah. Fist, like going around the whole room, and you're like, no, yeah, I'll just double check the job and just see if I'm busy. And you're like,
Let me just see the availability, and you're looking at just blank
yeah,
calendars. Oh,
yeah,
I can fit you in.
blank,
As it's
blank.
you, maybe next week or
Yeah,
tomorrow, later today. Should we
it's
talk now?
crazy. It's
I know.
crazy,
Well,
but it is what it is. And do you know what I mean? It is hard. I'm not going to say recruitment's full of like glamour and stuff, because it's not, because it's mentally hard as well as sort of doing the job. But
it is.
it
But
is what
as
it
you
is.
said, it's peaks and troughs, isn't it?
Of
There's
course.
huge highs and there's huge lows in any kind of sales, or to be honest, like any role. I just think the difference is when you work in something that's predominantly a sales with quotes around it role, that is happening on a monthly or quarterly
Of
or
course.
however oftenly basis.
It is. And you're only good as a last placement, really, effectively,
Yeah.
because it's just like you might have a good month, and then suddenly, as soon as 1st of February comes, it's all over again, and you're like,
But I'm the man, right?
oh,
I'm the man. Yesterday I was
yeah,
the man.
yeah.
What happened to me being the man?
You were the golden carrot yesterday. Now you're just a black egg.
Yesterday, it's like, but it's 9. Yesterday was like 10 hours ago.
I know. It's just like you had the Burger King hat on, and now you've got nothing.
Now look at you. Now you're a bloke wearing a Burger King.
Yeah, no hat, no hair. So that's it. So,
well,
as you can see, there's no crown at the moment. So
not at the moment, but hey, it is the 21st of the month, so there is time to make that happen, Mr. Tom.
Yeah. No,
there's no better quote than no hat, no hair, no crown, no hair to end the show.
I love that. I love that. No crown, no hair.
If people want to reach out and find a tech recruiter who isn't your standard tech recruiter, we'll spend a little bit more time just helping out and figuring out your business. I mean, how many of you out there have heard of a recruiter who will come in your business and have a look, and a smell? That's genius,
and I don't have fish that day though. That's no, who has fish that day? But no, do you know what I mean? When people say, "Oh, do you really?" Yeah, I do actually go and people go, "Oh." But how can you and this is cliche, but how can you understand a business if you can't go into a business and just see it and go, yeah, I've seen their egg chairs and the fruit that's in the, like,
in the
it's
brochure.
not, yeah, it's like, I like to go in there and actually just speak to the team. What's about, what are you building? Like in tech, that's the coolest part, is about building. What are you building? Like making dream ideas into reality and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Being able to,
when we haven't used a recruiter, we've literally, like, the second stage interview is here, and every single person gets you've got the job tour. You know, when I've worked in other places, when they're like, you can come and walk around places, and you're like, oh shit, I got the job. Yeah, man. And then they introduce you. We do that to everyone because I want them to see it.
Yeah.
And be like, that's right. We edit on the same floor with headphones on. So if you're like a big speaker, loud and proud on your own type person, it's just,
it's hard. I think when you're doing that, you're basically going there to give the candidate as much information. So when they do get there, and if they do get the job, they pretty much feel comfortable already because they know Joe's the hiring manager.
Mm.
Dave does the ssandwiches and does the sandwiches on a Wednesday and comes round, and it's just like they know they know the tricks and tales. But when you're like working with hiring managers and they're like, yeah, I want to come in and see it. Some people do a bit like, why do you want to come in?
Why?
Because yeah, why? But it's sometimes I think that's for me to be different, and that's why I want to go in and come and see it because
I think it's
like
genius.
how can you bring people in or give an opportunity to someone and I only know a job description and I know the team setup and how the interviews go. That's all I know. So
And to go back to what we said at the beginning, like when we're specifically all asking as employers and employees to be part of a culture, like, you know, we're looking for
exactly.
people to join our culture. If I'm looking for a job, I'm looking to join a culture which would be right
Mm,
for me.
mm,
And then what I meant to be like, yeah, it's crazy here, Tom. We have
yeah.
such fun, and you got to be like, apparently they're crazy and have fun. And
But
I'd say the last job I
yeah.
had, I remember when I was in the interview, they said things like, "It's really quiet." Or at most, you know, in the office, but
Mm,
obviously you won't be
mm,
because you're going to be cold calling. It was like I'd started in the lead gen role, and what a brilliant thing to tell me. That was really, really good because there were times and I'd be like, "Hi, it's Jay calling from somewhere,"
and you can
because
hear
it
a
was
pin
so.
drop.
Yeah, exactly. And more importantly, when I was eating it and just like saying dumb shite, and after the call, we'd have people being like, "You know, we don't sell that, right?" And you're like, oh, "Fuck
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
No, no, I didn't."
yeah. The
Shit.
compliance going, you shouldn't be saying that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, my mum was the managing director, constantly being like, "Don't call everybody matey," and I was
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
"Ah, you know, come on."
yeah.
Like,
No, and the key thing is obviously when people go, you're obviously, and people, I've had people pull me up like like we're talking about younger years, going, well, it's not obvious, is it? It's not obvious to them, but
Why would it be obvious?
sometimes you just motor mouth and you're like, blah, 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 and it's just it just happens. You just automatically happen. But I think yeah, recruitment is good. And as I said with businesses before, I don't really if I didn't get a good vibe in general or people are not wanting that sort of team thing, you know, like you said about the culture, I won't tell them about. I won't just put them over. I just won't send people candidates over there
No,
just because I
because
don't want them
it's
to
not the
go.
right fit. What's the
It's
point
not
in
the
you
right
in a
fit.
relationship with two people
Exactly.
just so they can meet and be like, "Here's a
Yeah,
CV,"
and
and
just say I hope and then hope for the best. It doesn't really work like that with me, but I think that's why I have done well. But and obviously I want to work with more businesses that fit into what I want to work as in believe in what they're doing. So I think sometimes
well,
it is hard to find the right businesses, but do you know what I mean? You just got to keep going on and speaking to new businesses and just carry on being you.
100%. Well, if the statistics that LinkedIn give us are anything to be to agree with, out of the 10,000 followers I've got, 65% all work in tech. So, if you are one of those 65%ers and you want to speak to Mr. Tom, where do they go to find you, sir?
So you can find me on LinkedIn, as per you. Drop me a direct message on there. But obviously, my email address is thomas@clearpathconsultancy.co.uk. But happy to have a conversation with anyone, even if they wanted some advice as well, regards to them applying for jobs or just want some hints and tips. But happy to speak to anyone and everyone.
And you know you're getting value from someone when they say, "I'll give you hints and tips," and they don't have the word coach after their
No, yeah,
you know for a fact that that's actual value. That's all I'm saying.
yeah, that's just the little golden nuggets.
Tom, man, it's been very, very, thank you so much for
It
joining
has.
us on the show. It's been really, really
Thank you.
cool. And kids, we'll see you on the next episode of The Jaylee Show. Mason, take us to the bridge, my man. Well, there it is, kids. The wonderful, the fantastic, the unicorn hunter, Mr. Thomas Woodhams. Check him out on LinkedIn or email him. We'll put all his links all in the descriptions or in the show notes so you can click nice and easy. Keep your suggestions coming in for guests. We're doing our best to get in touch with anyone. If you are yourself someone who wants to be a guest, then hey, get in touch. Say hello. The show is very much like this. And finally, for those of you who have listened to this entire show, all the way through to the final part, I have to say, do me a favor. Why not? Just for those people who love you, hit like and subscribe, you know, or don't. It helps the algorithm. I don't know. Okay, see you on the next episode of The Daily Show.